Good morning, you guys. Today is Tuesday, the 15th, of October. Alright, it is just about 5:20 in the morning. We are in Richmond, Virginia. I just got onto I-95 northbound right now from, what was it, 295 or whatever that highway was, I forget. I came across I-64 from, I-81, and I just, anyway, what are we doing here? We're on our way up to the town of Ruther Glen. It's about 20 miles north of here. You're not going to cause a problem for me there, are you? Because I see that exit only thing there. Double check. Dude, did you not fucking see my turn signal? And then you get that car lit. But I had my turn signal on before that guy even started to come over. And he didn't even signal in the first place. Freaking jackass. Alright, so that's what we're doing. We're going to be making a delivery to the Trader Joe's distribution center over there. Apparently it's a brand new facility. I don't know how long it's been there, but during my scouting, alright, so before I started this shift, because there's a Love's right down the street and a Flying J across the highway from the Love's. Not across the interstate, same side of the interstate, but across the highway that they're off of, or the road, whatever you want to call it. And I decided I'll do a little bit, the usual scouting. I want to see like satellite view. Like for one, I'm going to be showing up here in the early morning. I started my shift last night in Cookeville, Tennessee. It's up on the hill in between Nashville and Knoxville. And so I'll be ending my shift over here. The load's not due until tomorrow morning at 6, but I'm getting over here early. And am I going to need to change lanes? Plus I have this guy up here, this guy in the next lane over. Yeah, looks like, come on, dude, you gonna back off and let me over? Yeah, he's backing off. A little bit. Alright. Give him a thank you flash there. Alright, anyway. So I was doing my scouting though. I was trying to figure out, because on Google satellite view, you can very clearly see where the building is at, where driveways are and all that. And from what I can tell, it's Ruther Glen Road, which goes right there along the side of the, right past the Love's. Actually, you got to use Ruther Glen Road to get into the Love's or out of the Love's, whatever it is. Go right down the road there, and it appears that's right. I mean, right there where it runs into whatever that other street is where the entrance to Trader Joe's is, or the truck entrance. So, you can literally walk, like not even a 5-minute walk. Actually, I'm probably giving you 2 minutes extra or something to get from the Love's to the DC, and it's that close. But now, when I tried to look at Street View at that intersection to see if there was like a guard shack or anything along that line, figure out how the process might be there, you don't see anything. All you see there is a 3-way intersection with nothing but like trees or bushes and stuff, and I can't remember, it might have been dude, I don't want to play frickin' turtle race with you, okay? I'm going to back it off to 68. So I don't want to sit here playing side by side with this guy forever. Then go ahead and back it off and let him do his thing. Now see the truck behind me will probably hopefully go, yeah, he's moving left now. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Let Goya get by me. I don't need because if he blows the steer tire or I blow a steer tire, we're going to run in, there's a higher likelihood that one of us is going to veer into the other, possibly, and we don't want that. We want escape route space. Get anybody away from me. Alright, so it's only 2 miles an hour difference. That's, you know, when we're only 13 miles away from our exit now, that won't even take a minute of extra time. Okay, looks like I have to back it off and come on, dude. Don't start hitting your brakes right at the same time I'm trying to come over. And you don't need to even be hitting your brakes because I can see that Goya already moved over to that left lane. No, looks like we're okay right here. Just back it off on the speed. This lane's open. We should be all right here. Just as long as we're... Oh, this guy is... Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I would have been more comfortable moving over to the other lane, but... Getting near out of time here where there's more traffic over there now. Anyway, yeah, the street view, there was nothing there. So that tells me that that building, that property, that lot has not been developed for very long. Probably no more than a couple of years. Alright, but now it does look like from whoever, from both the satellite view and the Google reviews, there's not a lot of space there to work with. And the truck entrance, the building is to your right. So to me it looks like all the dock doors are possibly blindside unless you can get yourself turned around. And then I guess with truck staging and stuff or randomly parking wherever, it's what it sounds like. It's actually hard to get docked in there, even if you're side-side. So, kind of looking, maybe, hopefully not going to have that kind of an issue. Alright, so, that's what's going on here. Now, let's talk about, blocking the fuel island. And whether or not to say something to the person or anybody about it. So it's got brought up, as always, on social media. And, I wanted to, yeah. Okay. So there's a driver who posted that he went to the, he was in the fuel island. I think it might have been, or, no, he wasn't even trying to do a 30-minute break. He was actually trying to get fuel. Apparently he was trying to use the Mudflap app to set up his transaction, but he was having some kind of a technical issue with it. I don't know if he was having issues with his Mudflap app or his fuel card. Yeah, with it being linked to Mudflap or what. But there was some kind of a technical issue going on there, is what it sounded like. And it was taking him a bit of time to get that resolved. Meanwhile, there's nobody in the island at all, except for him, from what it sounded like. And I guess during this time while he's trying to figure all this out, some other driver walking to or from, between this truck and the building, or vice versa, I guess they decided to run their mouth and get their, not mind their own damn business. Now, yeah, we do have too many problems with truckers camping out in the fuel island when they shouldn't be, and actually preventing people who are actually trying to get fuel from getting their fuel in a timely manner. Now, if you ever, especially in a day cab, where you don't get to use split SB, your 14-hour clock is always running down. Even with some sleeper drivers, if your logs are not, if your ELD is not set up for split SB provision, then your 14 is always going to run down. And now I have split SB, not such a big deal, but when I'm just sitting there waiting to get fuel or whatever, my 14 is running down. I need to take at least a 2-hour long break before my 14 is going to stop. But anyway, yeah, I guess this guy mouthed off to the driver, trying to tell him, you need to go park your truck or whatever. You know, like if you're going to take a break in the fuel island, whatever, you need to get the hell out and go park. Now, he's the only truck even there. He's not in anybody's way. And you guys see, I do a lot of nighttime driving myself. Most of the time when I'm ready to do a 30-minute break, there's nowhere for me to park. Now, this morning, I actually was able to get a spot because I ran non-stop 7.5 hours from Cookeville to Gordonsville, Tennessee, Gordonsville here in Virginia. Now, those of you guys who are in the reefer industry might be familiar with the Walmart distribution center in Gordonsville. The Shell station right across I-64 from that Walmart DC is where I did my 30-minute break this morning. Just so happened to find a spot at 4 in the morning. But a lot of other times I'm taking a break in the middle of the night. Like the previous night, I stopped at the Loves in Jackson, Tennessee. You know, roughly an hour-ish. I don't even know if it's quite an hour drive east of Memphis. Alright, so I get there. It's in the middle of the night, like 2 in the morning or whatever it was. And there's absolutely nowhere to park. So what do? I go to, and I needed to get fuel anyway, so I was kind of took my time getting my fuel, filled up all of my tanks. And on top of that, I ran inside. Now, when I got through getting my reefer fuel, I intentionally kept my truck in the fuel lane and not at the courtesy area. That way, and the reason why I did that is to try to discourage other truckers from coming up behind me. If there are other lanes vacant that can be used first, I want them to use the other lanes first before they come up behind me. But now, if I'm doing my 30-minute break in that situation, then if someone does come up behind me, no problem. I don't have a problem. I'll go ahead and pull forward. You go ahead and get your fuel, but I want people going to the other lanes to get their fuel as much as possible first. And then also, you know, if that person does want to pull forward, or actually when they do get there, this is where communicating can make a big difference. In that situation, get out and talk to the person. Hey, how big a hurry are you in? Are you needing to get moving as soon as you're done fueling, or are you not in any hurry, whatever? Can I tell them, hey, you're on a 30-minute break, there's nowhere to park, and now worst case, if they're in a hurry, no problem, I'll just circle back around to the fuel island. They'll go around, you know, and just get out of the way. It's not that big a deal. And you just creep it. Make sure you're not doing any more than 5 miles an hour, and you'll be okay. I've done that before. It's rare though, but you know. But then communicating can make a big difference. Speaking of that, I had a time at the Loves in Polk City, Florida. I just got through picking up a load at the Coca-Cola facility in Auburndale, Florida, and I went on. I usually, when I pick up there, you know, either there or at Commercial 7 in, also in Auburndale. You know, when I pick up at one of those locations, I'll scale that load at that Love's. which is pretty much straight to the north from Auburndale. Now, I didn't really need fuel. I just wanted a 30-minute break. Now, that's all I needed was a 30-minute break. Hopefully that car doesn't try to pass me on the right now. I'm only here temporary, car. Alright, thank you. 2.3 miles. Anyway, I didn't need fuel. Now, this particular occasion, there was one lane vacant, for someone to pull up and get fuel. So what do? The lane next to it, there was a truck already in the lane. I think another truck in the courtesy lane in front of that one. And then another truck. Well, actually, I think the one in the courtesy lane had just left, and the one in the fuel island has started to pull forward. And there was a truck waiting in line behind that guy. Or I think he had just pulled up or whatever, I can't remember. But he starts pulling forward into the courtesy lane. And I just went ahead and decided to jump in behind him. And I know the guy was like, what the hell are you doing, man, behind me when there's a lane to right, the very next lane over to the left was vacant. So he was like trying to gesture for me to go over to that lane. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. So, I get up and stop behind him, and then I get out. Now it turns out he's going into the building first. And I told him, hey, just FYI, I'm not in any hurry at all. Don't feel like you're rushed in any way with me being behind you. I told him I needed a 30-minute break, and I'm not getting fuel, and I don't want to occupy a lane that someone could be using to get fuel if I don't need to be there. So that's the whole reason I parked behind him, and he understood. And it may, I'm at least trying to be courteous to other drivers and there's nowhere to park. All the spots were occupied, even in the afternoon. So a lot of times will happen, especially when you're driving at night or you're in a metro area like Phoenix. Yeah, good luck finding somewhere to park like if you're at the Loves in Tolleson, Arizona. Or I don't tend to go to the Flying J in Phoenix or Tolleson, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know how frequently that one is, full. I think it usually is like 24/7, but I don't know for sure. Okay, so you got the Flying J over here on the left, and the Love's right over here. We're gonna come over to the Love's because, oh my God, they got Dairy Queen. Yeah! Oh, they just made my day by having Dairy Queen here. Okay, we're gonna have to turn. I might have to turn on that Carmel Church Road loop. Yeah, because I noticed you have to use that. Like if you're going from the Loves over to Flying J, you have to use this Carmel Church loop. And it's actually going to come right over to where the Trader Joe's DC is. And then we can get to the Loves from over there. Alright. Anyway, why do people make a big deal out of that, though? Like, if there's nobody even there, don't worry about it. And if it's not affecting you, then mind your business. You don't need to be getting involved if it's not you being affected by it. Okay, now, so, see the GPS is trying to tell me to go further down the street, but that would be the employee entrance. The street coming right up here where this curve is at. Okay, this left turn right here is where I think. Yeah, this is the truck. Oh no, the truck entrance is straight up the road there. Okay. Trying to get that car's lights there, and it's hard to. I'm trying to use the camera to track where my trailer or my tandems are at. It's hard to do because the way their lights were shining. Alright. Yeah, now if it affects me, like you're in my way or something, then yeah, I'm gonna let you know about it. I'm gonna have something to say about it. But looks like there might be a spot right here, yeah. I was just about to go, and then this van decided to come. Alright, yeah, we're not doing any more of this shit. Okay, it might be a little bit of a tricky because of this guy. So at least 2 or 3 spots, but trying to figure. I almost wonder if there's a spot down that way, but this is a good spot over here. Yeah, I should be fine here. Come on, chase it, chase it, chase it. Tandems are a little too close to that Volvo, and I'm not gonna get to it fast enough, so we'll open it up just a bit. Don't need too much. Come on. Tandems are right where I want them now. I gotta get the drive tires there a little quicker though than what I'm getting there, so I want to make sure I don't have any risk of hitting this Ryder truck, or Penske, whatever. Alright, so this is the Loves in Ruther Glen. Speaking of that, my buddy David was telling me, I guess the locals pronounce this place Ruther Glen, not Ruther Glen. So I got curious. I can kind of see an argument in both directions on that. If you think of like Rutherford or something, it's spelled the same way. So I can kind of see the argument for calling it Ruther. But at the same time, when you don't have the Ford part or Ford part, whatever, at the end, then how really should it be pronounced? And I got curious, like, what's the history of the place? So it turns out it's an unincorporated community of about 17,000 people. How the hell you got an unincorporated a community of 17,000 and it's unincorporated? That's kind of hard to fathom to me. When you have that size city, you don't have you can't be bothered to incorporate and have your own city hall and your own city government, your own city police department and fire department. It's kind of weird. I mean, I grew up in Barstow, California. Not where I'm originally from, but I grew up there, spent most of my childhood there, and not much bigger than this. It's only about 20,000, 25,000 people. It's been incorporated for as long as I can remember. So I don't get it. Why would this be not incorporated? Anyway, though, I did a little bit of research. Now, there's not much, but I couldn't find anything specific to this particular, as I'm going to call it, Ruther Glen. However, I did find something about a town of the same name in Scotland. It's going to tie in, though. So, now, the town in Scotland, it's named, it's believed to be named after basically a guy who was the king of Scotland there in, I think it was the 2nd and 3rd century BC, if I'm getting the numbers right. Yeah, the 200s and 100s BC, something like that. I think that's 2nd and 3rd century BC. But now this guy, his name was Reuther. So I'm like, great. And I'm not Scottish, and that's kind of a weird way to. Radio check. It's working a little bit faint though. All right. Anyway. Yeah, so I got curious. How's that supposed to be pronounced? I don't know. Yeah, that's not an American way to pronounce that, I guess. But I know there are some words I can probably come up with in the English dictionary, American English dictionary, that are spelled that way. But I don't know. So CRST, you're gonna run over that curb, aren't you? No? Okay. I thought he was going to at first, the way he was starting to turn. So, first resource I had was just Google it. Reuther pronunciation. And then it led me to, I think there was like a YouTube clip that was off of, I forget what the website was. It was all about, the website was all about pronunciation help though. And they actually pronounce it in the YouTube clip, Ruther, not Ruther. So, and it made sense because most languages, including Queen's English, traditionally the vowels are only pronounced one way. The U is only pronounced oo. Not you, not or anything else. It's just oo. Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, other French, I'm sure, and most other languages only pronounce the vowels one basic way, generally, unless you have like some kind of like an accent mark or something to dictate that it's pronounced another specific way, like in German. Like those little dots and whatever kind of stuff, those kind of tell you to pronounce it a different way, but I'm not an expert on that area. But now, yeah, this is a Scottish town though, so I'm like, well, what's that got to do with here? It doesn't necessarily, but this town had to have gotten its name somehow. Now, a glen is, if I remember, like a narrow canyon, or a hill, or I can't remember. Kind of like it's a geographic, topographical feature, if I remember right. So, I just forget what it's actually, what exactly is. I'm not an expert on that, but there is, I was talking to my buddy John the other day. And he was talking about how he used to regularly go to a place here in Virginia called Glasgow. Like Glasgow, Scotland. But it's here in Virginia. And I actually just went this morning right by, oh shit, I gotta go off duty. Or, come on. Forgot all about that. Oh, good. It got me all automatically on on-duty status. So that helped. But, I looked it up. Now, I went through the area. Glasgow was east of I-81 and south of I-64. I happened to be on both those interstates, and I went, took 81 up to 64 to get over here. So, how did that town get its name? So, I mean, when you have multiple towns here that have the same name as towns in Scotland, it doesn't take much to figure out that there's probably some kind of a Scottish connection to this part of the country. Now, I'm not from here. I don't know that I'm not a big, huge researcher, but yeah, I do like to research, but I don't know the full history of this area. So I'm just by these names alone, though, and knowing that there are the same kind of names in Scotland, you know, it doesn't take much to figure out that there probably is a lot of Scottish history in this area. It's, I mean, England, France, and all that, and Scotland is, I think, part of the UK, if I remember right. What is it? England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, or something like that. Or I always forget. Or no, the Scotland, its own country. I forget. Something along that line. Lisa, if you're watching this, I don't know if you still watch my channel, but maybe you can kind of give me some education on that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could probably look on the map here in Virginia and find other towns that are also found in Scotland. And that would tell you right there's a lot of connection there between Scotland and Virginia. You know, this is one of the 13 colonies. You know, it's common sense that a lot of the towns here are going to be named after, you know, UK or, you know, whatever that part of the country, that part of the world is, you want to call it, generically. That you're going to have a lot here. You know, New Amsterdam. That's what New York City used to be called, New Amsterdam. And then after, I think, well, there's some other history there. Yeah, I won't get into that. We don't need to go into too big a long history lesson on how New Amsterdam became New York. Well, Amsterdam, Netherlands, and then that's basically the gist of it. You know, Holland or the Netherlands was basically influential with, you know, the state of New York or that city, and eventually ended up becoming New York, which is basically a new version of York in I think the UK. So yeah, anyway, enough with the damn history lessons. All right, let's I'm gonna go ahead and I'll camp out here, and we'll have some more for you when it's time to go check in over there. I'm going to probably end up doing a 34-hour reset here because I am down to 626 left on my 70-hour clock right now. Well, I don't necessarily, not sure I need to, but I'm only getting 4 hours and 34 minutes back tonight. That's going to give me 10:59 to work with tomorrow. And I'm not going to burn on-duty time going one block away to my customer. That's just not going to happen. So, and I'm allowed to do it. Hirschbach's even going to allow it, as long as it's only going from here to there. Because in reality, I could have gone over there and parked on the property if there was room for me to do it or whatever. But there's no services for me there. So, this is just a better place. So, it's common practice where we'll just PC from here over to the customer since we're already here anyway, and you know, and then I can make the delivery, and then come back over here after the delivery, and then tomorrow afternoon I'll have a 34 complete, and yeah, I can get running with the fresh 70. So I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. Not necessarily the case, but since tomorrow morning is when delivery actually takes place, and it's only a handful of more hours after I'll probably be empty anyway. To me it makes sense. Go ahead and do the 34, especially with, you know, I got an 11:54 coming up to the following night, but then only 5:14, and then 11:13, and then 5:37. So. those 5-hour recaps will complicate things with reloads. So if I just wait a few extra hours, get a 34 in, I have a full 70-hour clock, and then I can do any load available then. Anyway, all right, that's enough ramble. We'll go ahead and continue when we're checking in. Alright guys, we are ready to check in here. It is the 6th now. It's coming up about 4:30 in the morning. I found out it was a 5 a.m. appointment time. I'm glad I double checked. I kept thinking in my mind it was 6 a.m. but I double checked my appointment and it turned out it's at 5. So, and when it's a customer that I can only check in 30 minutes in advance. From what the reviews suggest, yeah, that could have gone pretty badly if I wasn't paying attention to that. Alright, so anyway, yeah, I did enough rambling earlier. I'm gonna be creeping in their yard for like less than 5 miles an hour, so I'm going to basically run high speed through here. Like high speed footage, I mean. And, yeah, and I think the trucks, yeah. All trucks, yeah. Next left, 1,200 feet, okay. And I love having that camera there, so I can more easily see where my trailer and the tandems are at through that camera, since it's lit up with the night vision. I see what they're talking about. What a cluster there. With trucks parked staged across the lane from the dock doors. Yeah, it is tight. California.
Yes, sir. May I have your first name?
Scott.
Yes, sir. Last name?
Zane, Z-A-N-E.
All right. We have a seal on the back door today. You been here before?
First time.
Okay. You're going to pull up just a little bit. Allow me to take a peek at the seal. Give you a thumbs up when I'm done. You'll make a right. All you truckers are parked on the right-hand side, so you'll find a spot, and then you're going to pull your truck back and park. Then you're going to walk across the street to the left-hand side. It's going to say, receiving office is well lit. Can't miss it. Give them the paperwork right there in your hand.
Okay.
After that, they unload you, and you're ready to go. Your exit will be straight down, going all the way around that whole warehouse to the other side. That's how we get out of here.
Oh, okay. Come out the side where the Loves is at, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right?
Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Have a good morning.
You too. this is a really tight parking here. I can see probably gonna have to disconnect from my trailer, or someone in the dock door will have to. It's kind of like Ralph's in Compton, where you might have to disconnect for the guy in the door next to you so he can leave or enter, or if you're parked here, you're gonna have to disconnect. Alright, we head over to the office over there. I can see just like she was saying, it's pretty well lit. It's right on the side of the wall down there in the extension. So we'll check in and see how this goes. Alright guys, we're oops, accidentally hit my light test switch. Okay, got a dock door R8, which is right in front of us. So and Steven's just parked right now over here right by the door, so might be a bit of a challenge. Well, no, because the spot next to it is vacant, so shouldn't be too bad. But don't do like what Stevens did and back with your doors, with your windows up. Especially when I'm walking by and he's trying to finagle his way in from. Get back here real quick before that other truck tries to get in the way. Just a tad late chasing it. Getting just a bit off track in this direction. I don't know. Tandems look like they're not quite where I need them on this side, but look like I was going to overshoot on the other side. I don't know. Might have to reset. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and probably go just a tad more to the left. These lines don't seem like they're painted the best. Well, they can be painted just a tad further apart from each other than they actually are. So through and through, this place looks like it was not designed by someone who knows much about trucking. Alright, it is 4:53. Go ahead and guess we'll have some more in a bit. Alright guys, we're done unloading here. It is 7:10 local time. Don't think I'm going to have enough room to make my turn, so I'm going to go ahead and slide over this way some. With this guy over here, I can't make the turn, because I got to turn left to get out of here, so get over this way a little further. Yeah, looks like we'll be alright. Alright, yeah, we're good. Okay, so we'll creep our way over. I'm gonna go ahead and let this guy behind me go by though. I'm just gonna creep out of here. Like I said, I'm trying to finish the 34-hour reset. Not in any hurry. overall, wasn't bad here, I guess. Wasn't incredibly fast, but not definitely not slow either. They said they're just barely here long enough to even get just maybe 15 minutes. Actually, I don't even know if it's really enough for even detention pay. Technically, 15 minutes worth, possibly, but that's, I mean, at 15 minutes, it's almost like it's not even worth it. It's like, who gives a shit if I get it or not at that amount? Probably only going to be like maybe $10, if even that. Alright. Well, anyway, yeah, I mentioned, I'm on a reset, so I'm going to go ahead and just go right back over to the truck stop and call it a day. No sense in dragging this on. I know I talked enough earlier at the beginning of the video anyway, so I guess I will see you guys wherever I'm picking up next, alright? You have a good day. Thanks for hanging out and watching. We'll see you then.